So
Okay.
we have a lot of question from the property owner, David, the owner of Casablanca. The final question of David is there any chance or is there any hopes that the property value and rental income will still go up with Casablanca, sir?
Sure. I think it will always go up as long as you maintain essentially the highest ranking possible. And the reason I know it will go up is this, okay? It takes effort, concentration, focus, perseverance to do the hard, I would say, thankless work every day in hospitality. Okay. So nobody really pays attention to how well the sheets are cleaned or how many times you've repaired this, but this is the buildup of a brand. This is how you build up essentially a strong reputation with the help of Book It Vista, our guidance, our strategy to differentiate yourself from all the other competitors in the marketplace. The good point and the negative point about ranking in competitive platforms is you're only as good as your last three reviews. If you really think about any particular brand these days, whether it's a Four Seasons, an Intercon, any particular Accor, any of these brands, they can be defeated if they get three bad reviews on any travel platform. If the last three reviews was terrible, you can be sure that those are going to represent disproportionately that particular brand's quality of service is going to represent their performance. So what David just needs to focus on is just consistently get those five-star reviews. Is that something that's going to be easy? No, it's not. Is it going to be simple? No, it's not. But that's exactly what makes you competitive, right? You're doing something that is hard, that other people who don't have the time or the patience cannot do and will not do. So they will eventually start dropping off. How do I know this? How do I know this for sure? Because I remember when I was the lead of Airbnb in Indonesia, and all the people who were super hosts in the year that I was there, they're no longer super hosts. None of them are. None, zero, zero. And the main reason is because this work is hard. This work is very difficult because you've got to bring an A game every single day, every single guest, each day, every single time. Okay. So not a lot of people will be able to endure through this particular process. It is very strenuous, but with, let's say, the help of Book It Vista and your trust and confidence in our ability to lead your property on track, that's how you succeed. That's how you become different than everyone else. And being different means that you do not have to suffer the same fate as all the other properties in Spain. And if David is honest with himself, he probably will also know that not the entire marketplace suffered in Spain. There are outliers of certain properties that probably did better than other properties. Okay. So this particular marketplace in Bali will never be like Spain. There's a few good reasons why. Okay. Number one, Spain is part of the Eurozone, the Schengen, right? So you need to get a visa to enter into Spain and the European Union region. You don't need a visa to come in Indonesia. Indonesia is a very flexible visa policy. So they commonly will get rid of the visa fees. There's no visa on arrival. So they are very open to absorb every nationality to come here, which then scales up your demand quite dramatically with just the change of mind. You can't really do that in Europe, right? If you make it visa free, then you'll probably have there's already enough problems with immigration in Europe already. So that's not really on the table to help tourism. Okay. But in Indonesia, it's completely different. The government can at will turn on the tap and tourism starts flowing in. And I think I've already explained this in another Bali business review that the low prices eventually just bring so much attention to Bali because it presents so much better value than other regions that surprisingly then Bali starts winning as a destination over other comparable regions. Why? Because once again, like right now, Thailand prices are fairly cheap. Why? Because Thailand was essentially not developing when Bali was developing with all the supply. They essentially now have opened up selling demand, and a lot of people are going to Thailand because they're cheap, right? But now that Bali is essentially getting oversupplied, all it really does is draw more people to Bali to fixate on value. And don't forget, Bali is close to about 4 billion people. There's about 1.5 billion Indians. There's another 1.5 billion Chinese, and then all the Southeast Asian countries and the Australians all together. That's a really large group of people who are essentially all looking for a tropical holiday, at least once in a lifetime. So let's say even 1% of 4 billion. That's pretty big. That's about 40 million, I think. 40 million people could potentially be your guests over the next lifetime. And that's more than enough. Okay. So go long in Bali. Bali has been always a great investment long term. That's why I've always stayed in Bali. Yeah. But the short term things, compete where you stand strong, and don't go in and join the dogfight with everybody who is also looking to just get on the marketplace. It's basically abandoning strategic high ground and going to low ground. That's the way we see it. Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully that answers David's question.
Yeah, it's answered well, sir.